stop. Before you send your SAP migration documentation to the end users, think about generating a podcast. Podcasts can be fun and engaging, and they're really easy to create using modern AI. And with tools like NoteBook LLM, it couldn't be easier. We just drag our change management documentation into NoteBook LLM, and then there's a neat little feature on the top right-hand side here that allows us to generate a podcast. But in this session, I wanted to help you take this to the next level. So the first thing we're going to do is make the podcast shorter and more pertinent to the individual that we are working with. To do that, we've got two ways that we can approach this. The first thing that we can do is click these buttons here that give us an ability to customize the podcast. We can simply make it shorter. We can also tell it to bring out certain things in the podcast that are relevant to us. NoteBook LLM will now go and generate a podcast of the change management documentation that is very, very focused on the top three things and is a much shorter podcast to consume. However, maybe I want to make this even more tailored to me as an individual. So the second thing we can do is to modify the document with a prompt. And so the document will become more pertinent to me as an individual. But don't worry if you don't know prompt engineering, we're going to use Gemini to help us with that. You are a prompt engineering expert. Please generate a prompt for me that will take the SAP change management documentation attached and make it more focused on an order entry clerk, specifically one that is familiar and experienced in using ECC. Now Gemini will generate a prompt for us that we can use to modify that document to make it more specific to the role and the responsibility that we're trying to target with this particular podcast. So my final tip for the day is to load the NoteBook LLM app onto your phone. As you can see, we can upload a series of podcasts associated to the migration of SAP and distribute them to all the people and the end users as part of the project. And then all they need to do, sit back, relax.
All right, let's get into it. Today, we're diving deep into what's probably one of the biggest changes in enterprise.